Hello, my name is Sohil Shekha, and I'm a solution architect at Outsystems. Today, I'm going to show you how to integrate Outsystems application with Highcharts. So let's get started. So to add Highcharts on an application, on Outsystem application, first of all, we need an application, right? So I'll start with creating a new application. Of course, you can use your existing application, but for the sake of simplicity, I want to show you the entire process. And for that one, I'm just going to create a fresh new application. All right, so now I have the application. I need the Highcharts library. So to get Highcharts library, what I need to do is go to highcharts.com/blog/download, right? Or you can go to the Highchart website and click on the try link, right? So when you click on the try link, you will get to the download page. On the download page, if you uh, scroll down, you will see download our libraries, where you will see the latest version of the Highcharts. So once you click that, it will download this zip file on your folder. Now I have already downloaded this. So let me just browse the file that I have. So I have downloaded it and unzipped it. So once you download and unzip it, this is what you will see, right? So you have code, you have examples. So when you go inside the example, you will see all the charts that are part of the Highcharts library. Now you need to pick the one which you want to include in your application. So let's find the one that we will do in this example application. So let's take this one, packed bubble. So you need to open this file, and this is how it looks like, right? So this is the chart that we want to include in our application. Now, what you need to do is right-click this page and open View Page Source. Okay. When you scroll down, you will see some of the JavaScript files which are included here, and you will find the JavaScript block which was defining the JavaScript chart in the page. So this is what we need. These two things we need from this, right? So first of all, let's see what are the JavaScript files that are there in the page. So there are 4 JavaScript files available in the code folder and in the code/modules folder. So let's just add this 4 JavaScript files, right, in our project. So I'll go back to my studio, and I have a scripts folder, right? So in the script folder, I'm going to say import script. And here, say highcharts, code, highchart.js, highcharts more.js, and inside modules, you have accessibility, and you have exporting, right? So these are the 4 files, JS files that we need, highchart. And again, it depends on which chart you want to include. So these 4 libraries are needed for the packed bubble chart that we are going to include. Similarly, whatever chart that you're going to include, you need to check the source and see what are the files that are required for that particular chart. Okay, so we have it here. Now, what we need to do is we can start creating the adding the chart in our application. So instead of what I can do is, instead of adding it directly to the page, usually as a best practice, I'll create the reusable block, right? So what I'll do here is create the flow, which I'll call it as Highcharts. And inside that, I will add new block. Okay. And in that block, I'll just add one container. Let's name this container as chart container. Okay. Now, what I need to do is I need to include those 4 JavaScript files which we added, which is required for this particular chart. Let me just name it block as the name of the chart. So what is the name of the chart here is packed bubble. Okay, so I'll just name the same. So this block is for the packed bubble chart. Okay. Of course, you can change the icon as well. We'll leave it out for now. And I'm going to add those 4 scripts, right? So first of all, it's highcharts, highcharts more, exporting, and accessibility. Okay. So these are the 4 libraries that I need. So I'll click on the block, and then when I scroll down, I come to the required script, and I will add those 4 libraries, which I've already added in my script folder. Now, what I need to do is I need to define the event where I will initialize my chart, right? So that event would be on render event. So when I go to the event section, I'll see on render event. Okay. And on render event, I need to execute some JavaScript code. So I'll just add the JavaScript block here. Okay. And when I open this, the code that I need to paste here is the one which I'll get from the sample index.html file. So this is the one that I need to copy, right? So I'll just copy this entire block. And paste it here. Okay. Now, this block defines the high chart on this container, right? So instead of this directly adding the container name here, what I can do is get it from the parameters. So I'll define input parameter. I'll call it as container ID. And instead of this, what I'll say is the container ID is coming from my parameter. So parameter dot container ID. Okay, so done. Now you need to pass the parameter here. So here it is already suggesting me because I have one container in my block. So I'll say chart container.id. Cool. So now I have the reusable block, which is containing my packed bubble chart. Now I want to use it in my page. So let's quickly define one screen. I'll just say empty screen, and in that I'll name it as highchart sample. Quickly create a screen. And in this screen, I just need to add a block. Okay. And the block is my packed bubble block. Okay, that's it. Let's just publish it and see if this works. Okay, so application is published. Now I'll just open in browser. and my chart is rendered here. All right, so this is how you can add any high chart in your Outsystems application. But again, this data is now sample data, which is hard coded, right? So I'll show you how to change this, right? So what you need to do basically in your block on the on render event where you have defined this JavaScript, this is where you're defining the the high chart, right? So here the title which is displayed on high chart, this one, right? So this title is again defined from here. So if you want to change the title, you can make this again, you can define new parameter, and from whatever you pass it from parameter, you can display it here. Similarly, you have the data. So this is the data. So whatever you pass in the series, so this object is the data that is being displayed. So what you can do is again create a new parameter which you call it as a data, which is a JSON object, and then you can pass that JSON object here, and this, instead of this data, you can render the data that you want, which you will get from the input. So that is how you can add any chart from Highcharts onto Outsystems application. I'll also add the OML file of this application in my GitHub repository and put a link in the description. So if you want to try it out, you can use that link as well. That's it, and thank you very much.